We're looking at practice clips from Minicamp and OTAs. Today we're looking at the Green Bay Packers, getting a good look at MarShawn Lloyd, work through some drills and run some routes. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're always looking at practice. And training camp's right around the corner. You want to see what your players are doing behind the scenes, your rookies, those quarterback battles, guys you're getting ready to draft in fantasy football. Click that button. Stop missing out on your favorite players from your favorite teams. Today we're looking at MarShawn Lloyd. There's a lot to talk about here. The running back depth chart, the Packers, MarShawn Lloyd in his second year, what he missed last year, everything. But here he is. What I like about him is he's twitched up, has good size, and has some pop in the step. He's very explosive. Explosive to the point that if he sees daylight, it's going to be a chunk of yards. And if you noticed, the Packers did not take advantage of this stacked running back class. They feel good with what they got, especially you got Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a dude. We're not talking about anybody usurping Josh Jacobs. We're talking about the event if something does happen, and you got to look at the next man up or the committee behind him because Manny Wilson's good. Let's talk about Manny Wilson. He held it down last year when it was his opportunity. He did okay. He's got good movement for his size, good vision. He's very dependable. MarShawn Lloyd, though, if you can get in the mix of that, if he can crack some opportunity, that size-adjusted athleticism, that pop in the step, that explosiveness in the second level of the defense can really turn some heads, can really eat up some chunks of yards. You see it right there on that cut. That cut is beautiful. Let's go back and look at that. That cut is beautiful on that play. Right back here. Watch this. Right here. Boom. Boom. That's a beautiful cut. Has good feet. Moves laterally very well. Very compact. Didn't really get to play last year. Was hurt. And we missed the season. We're getting our opportunity this year. Training camp's right around the corner. From what we're seeing, everything's okay in Minicamp OTAs. However, it's against air, so we're going to see what's going to happen here. At USC, he was using the passing game. Caleb Williams does not check it down the running backs. That's the thing about that. And he was a running back that was highly touted coming out of high school, goes to South Carolina, finishes his career at USC. And now you're seeing him here with the Packers, getting drafted in the third round, has good pedigree. One of the better running backs in last year's draft, especially when you look at the total package. Playing with Power 5 programs, looking good at the combine, tape's good. There's a drop issue there that people mentioned a lot. However, he's explosive. He runs out of a cannon. Getting his opportunity, and he takes advantage of that. That's a running back that can gain some steam. That's for sure. If you're talking fantasy football, if you're talking redraft, I'm going to throw him in the range of lottery ticket dart throws, and it's very ambiguous with that, where you can pick up that backup running back for your final spot that you like the most, that has a lot of upside. And there's so many this year because of this year's draft. This is the deepest, most talented running back class of all time, which is going to make the back end of drafts very sticky when it comes to talent at the running back position. It's going to be overwhelming with talent, and it's just going to have to work its way out, and the cream's going to rise to the top, or attrition's just going to allow it to happen for some of these teams and some of these young players. And we're looking at some of these year two guys. Lloyd, Benson, Corum, many more, a few more. It was not a jacked running back class. There was some talent there, but not the most talented running back class like it was this year. I think this year was the best running back class of all time. You're looking at it from the top. You got 2 first-round running backs. The second round was flooded with talent. We got Caleb Johnson the third, and day 3 was jacked. Day 3 was one of the deepest, most talented day 3s of all time for the running back class. But MarShawn Lloyd fits in here as one of the young running backs that could take a step forward. Like I said earlier, I like Manny Wilson. I think he's got good feet. I think he's dependable, good vision. I would not be surprised if Josh Jacobs goes down if it's a committee. I would not be surprised. If Josh Jacobs goes down, that it's a committee behind him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a light committee with Josh Jacobs getting a large workload. If MarShawn Lloyd starts playing well, Manny Wilson does his thing because he's a good running back. I mean, he's not a top-tier running back, but he's a good running back. Any team would love to have him. Like, I don't want to talk about MarShawn Lloyd and have Packers fans believing that Manny Wilson's cooked or anything like that. He's a good running back. He's exceeding expectations. He's always has been. Standout dude. Standout dude. But again, MarShawn Lloyd is the ambiguous X factor here in this offense. You got Love leading the charge, but also there's some unknown here. We kind of know some from USC, South Carolina, because he was a big-time recruit coming out of high school, and from everything we saw on tape and everything else. But as a young player, you're developing into the system. You're working with new coaches. If your opportunity comes, do you capture it or do you not? And there's only going to be a few opportunities. Because it's not like he was like a high-end selection. He was a round 3 pick. You got Josh Jacobs there. You got competition there. And things got to start to rear its head, even with those players there. Or they're going to start making some transactions. They're not married to you. The draft capital is not that high. And sometimes changes are going to happen. Players fall in your lap. You never know what's going to happen. So this is a huge season for MarShawn Lloyd. Even though he's young, this is a huge season for him. Like, we should see something out of him. Whether it's preseason, training camp. In training camp, what I'm expecting out of him is I'm expecting to hear some good coach speak. I'm expecting to see that. And I want to see what he looks like in the joint practices once we get the pads popping. I want to see how explosive he is when there's a sea of pads around. I want to see him make some runs in preseason. I want to see him dazzle us. That's it. I want to see him dazzle us. In Dynasty, he's cheap. He's very cheap in Dynasty fantasy football, where if you're looking for a young running back just to get some lottery tickets on, he's a cheap dart throw. He's a cheap dart throw. Considering the draft capital, age, athletic prowess, size-adjusted athleticism, all that stuff, the team he plays for, he's a cheap dart throw in long-term fantasy drafts, Dynasty. He's a cheap dart throw. Like, the rookies is just pushing him down a little bit, but he's cheap. But I don't think he's going to be too liquid. Like, if I had him and I held him all this time, this whole year or so, I'm not giving him away for that cost. So you pretty much got to get him cheap in drafts. Maybe you can catch him at a reduced discount compared to this time last year. Maybe that could happen. And maybe someone's trying to get in this year's rookie class if you haven't drafted yet. Or next year's class. Or maybe trying to get those 2027 picks, considering that wide receiver class is going to be nasty. But you're looking at MarShawn Lloyd here. You're looking at this offense. His skill set. It fits well. Josh Jacobs is going to be that dude until Father Time says stop. He's definitely. MarShawn Lloyd can be used in the passing game. Can be used up the gut with a lot of touches. Very explosive playmaker. I think he's going to fit well in this offense. Got to button some things up. A lot of people noting drops, fumbles, and stuff throughout his collegiate career. From what I see from the numbers, it's not enough for me to really get bothered by it. From what I remember. And on top of that, we want to see him get right from last year. Get right from last year. And honestly, we just got to look at training camp, how he takes a step forward from there, how he develops, how he gels with the team, how he looks in joint practices, and then the preseason games. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.